Question call. Question call.
Really? I screwed that one up, you guys. Sorry about that. No Cyber Superstar by American Overdose today. But I do have to say thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Morning Show. At least I had one thing done properly so far. What is up? What is new? What is exciting? My name is Toby Brendel, and I am your host for today's wonderful show. What a Wednesday. You know, I usually do this first thing in the morning, get it all up, said, done, post about 11 o'clock on the site. But today I thought I'd do something a little bit different, as I forgot to do the trivia and topics for today. And, you know, it is what it is, and you can't really say too much. So, I just kind of bit my tongue and did what I could with the time I had, and I don't think it's going to be too bad of a show. It has a few great topics, a few great questions that I will be answering on this episode. So let's kind of get going. As I was doing a little bit of prep work today, I seen the new trailer for the Joker movie. I'm going to actually go out on a limb and say this movie looks pretty good. You know, it was getting massively critiqued when it first came out, as well as they were questioning the guy who played Joker and said, well, you know, he might not actually be good at this. It's probably going to get like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. And even with some of the teasers that they had with the movie, they were looking at it and saying this could be really super bad. Watching this trailer is making me realize it could be actually really good. And there's no doubt about that. If it's good, I'm going to give them full credit. Because what they started off with to what they had, it's interesting. But with this trailer leak, they have been talking more about the Joker than this one website, I just seen one picture, I had to go for once not to the bathroom to drop off the kids at school. I go, I take a look, and basically what they did is they took the cartoon Joker and put it in place of the real life Joker portrayal. And, you know, it actually made it even more interesting on that. I don't know. This movie is starting to get me more interested day in and day out that I actually want to see it. Sticking on the Joker theme, there was a huge announcement by Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, which, you know, he was the voice of the Joker on the animated Batman series. Really, I did not think that was him. He, to me, didn't seem like he had the voice for it, but he proved me wrong, because he actually makes a pretty good Batman. Anyway, got sidetracked on that part, but he came on, and he actually said he was ready for one of his roles in 2019, and it's bringing the life of a remake to the screen. And you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Trust me, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm going to have to say, the movie he's going to be voicing this character in is Child's Play. He's going to be Chucky. This might even give me nightmares being 40 years old. The voice before, it was creepy. The whole fact that you had the Chucky doll gave me nightmares. And didn't help when I had Cabbage Patch Kid always in my room. And I'd always think that he came alive and tried killing me. Ah! So, this is going to be interesting. There's a few things that I've watched on that trailer, and it really looks good as well. No, I'm not one of those people that's going to give like check marks here, check marks there. Just bear with me. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm talking. Okay. If you're going to base my opinion on how I prep for this show, I can actually get lemon out of a rock sometimes. And it's just that sweet. Wait, lemons aren't sweet, they're sour. I might have to get back to you on that one, because that made absolutely no sense. Anywho, so if you're trying to base my opinion and stuff like that on how I prep for the show, how I do the show, I do pretty damn good. Sometimes it's tangent, sometimes it's not. But yeah, Luke Skywalker's going to be Chucky in the upcoming Child's Play. Yeah. All right. Here was a question on Twitter that was not asked to me, but it was asked to the Twitterverse. It was a really good question, and I did not even have to pause, stop. Wait, that's the exact same thing. Pause and think about this. It was at the top of my brain, top of my tongue, and the top of my fingertips, and wrote down the answers. But one of the questions is, if you were the CEO or you owned Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, which 3 games would you remaster? All right. With this, there's times where it's like, well, if I remaster this and that and this and that, it could be good, could be bad. What could I do here? What could I do there? And some of the games that are getting remastered, all they're basically doing is giving better graphics. And even with the graphics, it doesn't have that same remaster feel to it. Like Mario's getting somewhat remastered. Resident Evil's people are saying should get remastered, like the 1 and 2, like the originals. Not no 4, 5, 6, and 7. Spyro's getting remastered, Crash Bandicoot. And even watching Crash Bandicoot, with that particular one, the gameplay is the exact same. A little bit crisper graphics. It didn't really fancy my potato. But let me tell you about the 3 games that I would love to remaster if I was the leader of these game systems and being like, hey, I want this and this and this. All right, number 1, Gran Turismo. One of the best racing car games ever made. Just absolutely blew out the water at late 90s, early 2000s. Like, yeah, it was late 90s. Because I was playing it when the clock switched. So, okay, late 90s, Gran Turismo. Beautiful. Great cars, upgrades, tracks were magnificent. You gotta go for your license. Beautiful. Then once they made Gran Turismo 2, I think they fell apart a little bit. They tried jamming too much into one, aka 2 discs. So to me, it wasn't that magnificent. But GT1, it would look so much beautiful if it was remastered. Even with the sounds that are based upon it, my mom, as soon as she heard me playing that on my cell phone, she instantly knew what I was doing. And if my mom figured it out, you know it's an ironic sound. Or iconic. Not ironic, iconic sound. Alright, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Especially, I don't actually have proper music to go to break, but we're going to be going to break. You're listening to the Blitz Morning Show, and I will see you after this little boy's laugh. Alright, yeah, cheesy, I know. Anyway, thanks for staying with us through the break. My name is Toby Brendel, and I thank you. Alright, back to the topics that we were talking about before we went to break, and that was remastering video games. Number one on my list is Gran Turismo, the original. Unbelievable. Could really blow doors off of vehicles, no pun intended. I would do that in a heartbeat. Number two, it's going to be Sledstorm. It's hard to find a good Skidoo game. And with what Sledstorm had on PlayStation 1, it was just absolutely unbelievable. Great riders, great sleds, great tracks. Except I would add a little bit of a few things like a little bit more realistic character control, movement, sleds where you can actually upgrade suspension, mufflers, tracks. Even add a little bit different, like not much, but add a few extra tracks in it, like say going through cities, have free roam. That would be more interesting, being free roaming where you could go around town, like getting chased by the cops, going into fields, jumping, have secret ramps set up around the towns to jump over certain buildings, doing tricks. So much fun, I tell you. I never played Sledstorm 2, but I guess with some of the reviews that I did read, it didn't do too well. But Sledstorm was still number one out of the two. I also played a few other ones like Polaris and Yamaha. Those particular ones did not do too well. It absolutely sucked. I know the Polaris, I think the company who made it spent too much money on grabbing the actual brand names of the sleds than everything else. Like the controls were horrible, turning was horrible, a little bit of the graphics, I'm just going to leave it at horrible. So, it kind of got beaten up a little bit, but Sledstorm was still the best. With that one, it still has opportunity to be bigger. Go big or go home. Life's short, ride hard. Giggity, giggity, goo. Alright. Number one, Gran Turismo. Number two, Sledstorm. Number three, it has to be Road Rash. Road Rash, I bought the Xbox One and I seen a video game and I thought it was Road Rash. It had road, then it had the letter R, A, then the price sticker. Okay. Thought it said Road Rash. I was so pumped. I was just beyond like giddy, like a little schoolgirl, seeing NSYNC for the first time. Yeah, I don't know where that was going. So, yeah, I was getting giddy. I was just booming. Take it home, open it up, removed the packaging. Got the sticker to move off to the side to see not Road Rash, but Road Rage. And I thought to myself, what the hell is Road Rage? Yeah. It wasn't what I was expecting. To tell you the truth, it was kind of like Midnight Club Dub Edition had sex with Road Rage And this is what happened. On a scale of 1 to 10 for this one, was probably a 2. But with the new Road Rash that I would love to remaster, I wouldn't take the ones back on the Sega Genesis. I would probably crossbreed the Panasonic 3DO version and the PlayStation version. And you're thinking, what do you mean by crossbreeding? Well, I played Road Rash for the 3DO and I loved it. Great music, graphics were nice. The areas that you actually played gave a different feel, and it grew into something it was magnificent. One of the best games the 3DO actually had on its platform. Then when it come to the PlayStation, you had Road Rash, Jailbreak, and something else. But with Jailbreak, you actually had 4 players playing. With this one, you could go 4 screen, or you can go 2 with 2. So 2 on one team, 2 on the other. You would have your driver and your monkey, which would be on the sidecar, which would help you turn better. You can attack a little bit easier. So you would kind of have the platform of those 3 games all together. The areas, stuff like that. It just, to me, would be a hell of a lot better as a game. Plus, with different graphics, now they're getting better physics with player movement. Trust me, this one would rock. All right. Let's mosey on. So, Joker movie, got it. Witcher 3 video games, got it. Luke Skywalker, got it. Alright. Oh, I seen this one first thing when I was going down to work, and I just kind of started laughing. A team over in France has discovered why Garfield phones have been washing up on a French beach for the last 35 years. For 35 years. Oh my God. Could you imagine this? For 35 years, Garfield telephones, back from the 80s, kept washing up on a French beach, and they could not figure out where they're coming from. Just kind of like the feet over in BC washing up on beaches. But anyway, so they found that a container was lodged in between rocks in a nearby beach cave. And I guess, water would come in, set one free. Water come in, set another one free. One goes in, another one comes out. And that happened for 35 years, and then they finally figured out where it was coming from. So if they could figure this one out, don't you think they could figure out Bigfoot, aka the Sasquatch? I don't know. It would be very interesting to actually see what was going on. Alright, we're going to hit the last break. Then we will do a little bit after, then call her quits for the day. And I apologize for no freaking Twitter Wednesday. Twitter Trivia Wednesday. There we go. I kind of got lazy on that. I apologize deeply. Anyway, you're listening to the Blitz Morning Show, and I will see you right after this. All right. That was quick, that was fast, and that was painful. Me doing the show is painful enough, and now you just have that little guy. All right. So I texted Hoyman. I asked him, Hoyman, I need a topic today. What topic should I talk about today? Ooh, the poll. I forgot about the poll. All right. And of course, Hoyman writes back, and says, people in wintertime driving. And I thought to myself, well, that could go either ways. One, it could be the assholes who don't know how to drive, who drives way too fast for the road conditions. end up in the ditch, then get pissed off. Or could talk about people like Hoyman and I back in the day drifting around corners. He goes, yeah. All right, Hoyman, this one's for you, buddy. So Hoyman and I, there's times where my vehicle wasn't nice. No heat, just pieces of junk, but that's all I could afford. So Hoyman's like, come with me. He'd pick me up, we'd go driving, go around corners, hit the e-brakes, go sliding out. The one time, I don't exactly know how it happened, but he hit the e-brake, the back end swung out, and we started going sideways down the street. And so I'm sitting in the passenger seat looking forward, and it's just houses right past me. Oh, that guy's watching Jeopardy. Oh, that guy's watching Wheel of Fortune. Then I'll turn to the right to take a look, and we are literally, no word of a lie, going sideways down the street. But Hoyman, the man, the myth, the legend he is, he had his car totally under control. He'd go, corrects it, not a problem, and drive down the street. Another time where he would have his old blue truck, hit the gas, go sideways. It's like, yeah, bop, 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 bop. Let me tell you, it's amazing that he never got more exhaust tickets just because of how loud his truck was and how sometimes we basically drive. Like, just absolutely insane. Then there would be times where he'd be in the vehicle in front, he'd go drift. Then there would be me in my little shit box. Oh, the good old times, Hoyman. I miss those. Hell, that leads me to our Twitter poll that I posted and got a bunch of hits. Okay. My question was, what do we need more of the show? Do we need more hockey, more football, more Fortnite, or more stories about Hoyman and myself, Wilbur? For the longest time, it was tied for, football? And, wait a sec, how did that work? Hockey, football, and the stories were tied with 3 votes. Then it was hockey and Hoyman and I. So football kind of fell out. Then eventually the winner was more hockey stories. So, horrible absolute time for this to get put into place as the NHL season is starting to come to an end. My Minnesota Wild didn't fare too well. Despite the huge win that they had against Winnipeg, Colorado, they were down 2-0, and all of a sudden scored 6 goals to beat the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, first time in 6 years, the Wild aren't going to be in contention. A lot of people are still pounding back saying, got to get rid of Parise, got to get rid of Suter, got to get rid of Dubnyk. If you go and take a look at the actual team, there was so many more things than just those players. They just got to figure out how to freaking score. That's basically number one. Like, if they can get a 40 and couple 30 goal scorers every single year, they might have a chance to actually win the cup. Yeah, strong defense, strong netminder. They just can't frickin' score goals. Huh? Then with the whole football theme, if that one, then I would have basically told you that the AFA, or it's like AAF, not the Alien Ant Farm, the Alliance American Football League has officially suspended play in Season 1. 8 weeks in, absolutely done. No more. And, it's one of those things. I can understand what they were trying to do, trying to give the football fans a little bit better competition on the football field when the NFL's down. But it got so bad that anybody who traveled to get ready for the next week were basically, you guys, you were on your own. So with what they had left, that was it. Sadly, I wish it could have made a thing for its way. But another thing is the XFL with Vince McMahon. They were getting a little pissed off, Vince McMahon, just because they were coming back with the XFL, but the AAF came out a little bit sooner. So Vince is like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. Well, Vince is actually one of the smart ones. He's taking his time, doing it right, finding rules, regulations, records, etc., trying to make his league last longer than one season, just like the first time that they tried going. They can go take a look and say, well, they did that, they screwed up, boosh. Now what? Johnny Football or Johnny Manziel? I gotta stop calling him Johnny Football. It's Johnny Manziel. He was released by the CFL, by the Montreal Alouettes, due to a breach of contract. It was more or less privacy, and it was part of the contract, but they let him go. He signed with a team in the AAF. Next thing you know, it was released because the league more or less folded. How messed up is that? You have a chance in the NFL. You were let go. You had a chance in the CFL. You get suspended and basically let go. And when I mean suspended indefinitely, so you can't play anymore. You get down to the third line, or to the third, top tier, second tier, the third tier football league. And they close. Johnny, I think this is a sign for you to figure out to do something else. Like, if nobody in the NFL wants you, the CFL was humming and hawing, but decided you weren't the one, and now the third freaking league that you signed up with folded. That's got to be a pretty good, big freaking whatchamadooey. Like a sign saying, don't do it, Johnny. Johnny, don't do it. Yeah. That was the shotgun to your career. It's now officially over, dude. You will never hear this anymore. I apologize about the loudness, because I got something totally different to record shows on, and I can't figure it out, even if it's the last thing in my life. Then, with the poll, hockey, football, Fortnite, I don't know really too much about talking about Fortnite. I haven't got that far into thinking, because I know there's tons of people that play Fortnite, and I know there's a lot more that listen to this show that don't want to hear about Fortnite, so I'm not going to continue. Then finally, the stories about Hoyman and I basically is the days where we grew up together, partied, raced, just things like that, and actually a friendship, and it grew into something great, bigger. Uncle, you're awesome. It also had a different turn where Hoyman and I had our ups and downs, just like any friendship. But it could have been one of those things that if I thought about it properly, we could have had something like hashtag Hoyman, hashtag Wilbur. My name is hashtag Wilbur. His name, hashtag Hoyman. We could have had an enterprise or something like that. Or just kind of like a Twilight thing where, oh, I'm on Team Hoyman. Oh, I'm on Team Wilbur. You know, it's a possibility, but not much more you can talk about. But there's so many stories that we had, like when I took a huge dump in Dinius's bathroom. I already probably told you about that one. Another time we were coming back from Estevan in his little geo tracker, and it was a weird blizzard where we'd go from visibility of like miles down to 0, go wee, get pulled off in the other lane, pulled back into our lane. Next thing you know, semi passes us, and that happened for like half an hour. Like every 10 minutes, we'd get thrown in the other lane, pull back, we miss a vehicle. So another time we went out to a party, realized wrong day. Driving back, I had to poop massively. Kept telling Hoyman to pull over. It's like, dude, I gotta poop. He goes, hang on. He was doing like 140 all the way back to town. Would not pull over. Did not have an accident, but I did make it to the bathroom, and there was a huge ass explosion. So, yeah, Hoyman and I, we had tons of stories. You may never know. Once a week, once every 2 weeks, I may give you one of those stories, depending on how we're feeling and what we can do from there. Ooh, already half an hour. Well, you guys, let's just give it a quick little end. It's been a half an hour of me rambling on to anything. But if you made it so far, this far onto the show, I give you full credit, and you're putting a smile on my face. Here's a little bit of update what's going on for Friday. First of all, we did not get our feed switched to iHeart, or over with the new feed on iHeart. So any iHeart Radio listens, you're not going to our new feed, you're going to our older feed. Hopefully that changes pretty damn soon. Second of all, this Friday we're still going to be talking about the 90s, but we're going to be talking about it in a different way. We're going to be talking about some of the technology changes as we entered into 1990 and as we exit of the 1999. Because within that decade alone, there was so many changes in technology which has affected everybody forever. And even a little bit previews of what was to what is now. So we're going to be talking about like video games, cellular phones, televisions, music, just wonderful, interesting things. Hell, the internet. Even the things that we did back in the day compared to the things that we did which affected us back in the day to things that went on today. I know last week I did the 90s TV shows and I screwed up. It should have been like a 2 or 3 part series when it came to that. You may never know. I might bring it back into something totally different. Still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to think. Once I get it figured out, then we can go. But until then, I think what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to let you go. Thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brindle. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theblitzmorningshow@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Blitz Morning. Or even head over to theblitzmorning.com to find out interesting posts as well as any episode in our archives. There is a built-in web player that all you have to do is click on and listen to it. Listen to I think I almost have 100 different episodes, so huge milestone for me, and I want you to share with it. Thanks for tuning into the Blitz Morning Show. I will see you in a few days. My name is Toby Rendell, and peace out, guys.